With that, Chad, are we ready for some playoff baseball? Are we ready for some playoff baseball? Now, we have some decisions to make here really quickly with these teams, because the problem is, for the most part, I'm pretty sure... Wow, Julian Chavez really tanked for you guys. I'm pretty sure there's nothing you can do at this stage in terms of calling somebody up. Okay, you could add Ibanez to your playoff roster, and again, Ibanez, I believe at a 690 OPS, was your best option at starting shortstop. He actually wasn't. Garcia was the better option. So I don't think calling up Ibanez is necessary. And of course, the outfield is pretty much good. I think you'd rather have Tejera as an option over Ibanez. So I think, outside of potentially dropping Mitchell, I mean, the only decision to be made there is who you carry for pitchers. So you could drop Anthony Mitchell, who never played this season. Duncan Ponce had a solid win-loss record. What do you guys think? Keep Anthony Mitchell or drop him for the sake of calling up Hidalgo, Zeke Drew, who got yeeted down to the AHL, Felipe Salazar? Because Zeke Drew this year was not good. Zeke Drew sucked. That's not an unjustified demotion. So Zeke Drew has the overall, but he was terrible. Salazar didn't play in the majors this year, I'm quite sure. Actually, Salazar did play in the majors this year as well. And to be honest, Salazar was kind of shit too. I actually think your manager set you up pretty well. It's ultimately your decision, Chad. It's your team. But these high-level relievers that are in the, I said the AHL before, in AAA, they were terrible. I actually think your manager did a pretty good job. Now, granted, Davis is there, and he didn't pitch at all. So you could just say, go for Davis. And call him up. But Drew, Salazar, Rios, whenever they played in the majors this year, they were terrible. Anarchy, you guys are the Expos. I control the Rockies. So what do you guys think here? Just trust your coach? Trust your manager? The man you're paying the big bucks to? Again, Davis never threw the ball this year, so you could, I believe it'll let you add Drew. Yeah, I mean, it gives you the option. So, I mean, yeah. You could bump down Davis and keep Mitchell as another long reliever. I mean, I'm seeing it split right now. I will give you guys time to talk it out and discuss it while I take a look at my roster to get ready to set this up. So for catchers, I'm definitely good. First base, I need to get Marquez back on my roster. Bobby Jensen's on the injured list. Whoo! Carlo Collado. Holy hell, has he gotten better. Holy hell, has he gotten better. How good was Austin Marquez this year? 821 OPS. Oh yeah, Marquez has to be on this roster. He has to be. Engel was shit. Hines was shit. How good was Chauncey Lyle? 800. Yeah! Brutus! Barutus, hello, sir. How are you? How'd the stream go? Thank you very much for the raid. You are just in time for some playoff baseball, sir. And Andreas Pena absolutely sucked, too. Not that Tyler Freeman was much better. I have some players here that are some high overalls, but that absolutely sucked this year. And I guess the issue is, if I don't have Pena, I need to keep Pena on the roster, because otherwise I have nobody else who could play shortstop. Trying to booty off in Diamond Dynasty. Fair enough, man. I feel you on that. Been there, too. I don't trust Hines. I don't at all. Did you get the Buxton yet? I could call up. I am going to do this. I'm going to make a controversial move. I'm going to call up Austin Marquez and drop Hines from my playoff roster. He's a defensive specialist, but he has been a liability at the plate. Nailed Buxton. Wasn't much work. Fair enough. It doesn't appear to be for the most part. Just grinding out those missions, right? The only other question is, again, I hate that I don't have Bobby Jensen. Makes you wonder how effective someone else would be. Buxton, Trout, Lofton is an outfield. That sounds ridiculous. Anarchy, no, I didn't watch it. I had no desire to watch that game. It's a joke of a game. All right, so I can drop Kirkpatrick. Steven Chen. And I hate to say it, but man, ooh, James Borden's potential dropped from an A to a B. Interesting. And horrifying. All right, Steven Chen could definitely be called up to the Major League roster. It's either Chen or Collado. Maybe it's Collado, but I imagine it's Collado. He's Cuban as well, so. He did have some injury. I'm scared to touch franchise. I mean, Brutus, it's the same thing it's been for years. So it's not any worse than it was. It's also not any better. Chat, let me know if you've come to a decision here on what you're doing with that pitching staff. Otherwise, we'll just leave it as is. I just don't have anybody else that can play second base. So Engel has to stay. Collado could only play third. But he could be a good pinch hitter. Pena has to stay. Collado or Chen? That is where I'm at. By the way, shout out to Dudley Boys, who's now a 78. That's on Super Mega. I'm intrigued to see what happens, because it could go really well, or it could go incredibly, incredibly poorly. Honestly, what I'm thinking here is I have nobody else that can play second base. If I don't take... Oh, no, wait. Freeman can play second. Okay, I don't need an extra second baseman. I think that we go... Someone acquired Super Mega. Indeed. EA. Honestly, I'm going to leave Chen. Can I see? I can't see Coyote's AAA stats, unfortunately. Aha! Yes, I can. No, I can't, because they don't show up. There's no way he didn't play. I'm going to go for Carlo Collado, I think. Or not. He's not eligible. Is Chen? Nope. Well, in that case, let's call Hines back up. Pretty simple. Then for the pitchers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh boy, that's a lot of pitchers. That's a lot of pitchers. Yep, nope, don't like that. Get Jose out of there. Get Bucky Tate back up there. I'll tell you what, my manager decided to try and fucking blow it in the playoffs is what he tried. That is what he tried. Sorry, Barrett, you're not ready yet. Let's get Yamamoto back up there. I got one player too many. And that's where Kirkpatrick is going to be dropped. Cool. All right, I think we're good. I think at least my roster is set. I haven't really seen the consensus. One more time, Chad, I will ask you. Do you trust your manager and drop Lewis Davis in order to bring on Hidalgo, who didn't play at all, Zeke, Drew, Salazar, or Rios, even though all three of these closers in the majors this year sucked? Like, we saw their stats, they sucked. So, I mean, you could go with Cortez, you could go with Hennessy, you could go with Hidalgo over Davis, but who's to say? Odds are Davis won't even see the field. What's it gonna be? TikTok. Take out Davis, bring up Cortez or Hennessy. All right, we're taking Davis out. Hidalgo is not eligible. Cortez is eligible. Hennessy is eligible. So Estevan Cortez or Rod Hennessy? Cortez or Hennessy? Who gets the call? Will it be Ghostbusters? Cortez or Hennessy? Cortez or Hennessy? Brutus, they might even not see that much of the field. What's it gonna be, chat? Cortez it is. Esteban Cortez is the choice. Louis Davis will be dropped, and your playoff roster is set. So really quickly, what we'll do, go to user settings, mode specific. We'll turn off lineup and rotation. And dream management is still fine. And that way, just make sure that's saved for Colorado as well, because you never know, sometimes it can be finicky. There we go. So with that, Montreal, your rotation. Your rotation. Now, first and foremost, you have 7 eligible players. Again, Anthony Mitchell did not see the ball even once. Let's see. Tugi, you know the group of Panthers fan I'm talking about. Someone in the group said Gorton firing today. Hashtag that means we're getting Panarin. Jesus. So, guys, you have Daniel Ponce at 13-4. I mean, the primary option, I would say, it's probably Liberatore or Silk. Again, Ponce, 13-4 with a 4.28 ERA. Do you drop Liberatore for him? Lower overall, but better numbers, at least base numbers, for Ponce. There's a 4.63 FIP rating there. And a 4.41. Look, so that's the question. For starters, do you go with Liberatore, who's the higher overall, or do you go with the guy who got the better results in Duncan Ponce? What do you think? What do you think? And then I think it's fairly obvious that James Shim should be your ace. He was your best pitcher. Followed up by Vela, and then probably the Rookie of the Year in Bowers. Leave it. All right. Well, we will put Silk ahead of Liberatore. I mean, unless you want these guys to be higher. But, I mean, again, Bowers was Rookie of the Year. Personally, that's how I'd order it. Your best 2 pitchers statistically, Rookie of the Year, and then, of course, you got Silk and Liberatore. Which I guess would leave Ponce and Mitchell as the long relievers. And then the question is, with the bullpen, Dennis North and Arlo Ostrander were your 2 best relievers. Do you want setup man closer, or do you want Ostrander available just from the pen normally? I mean, in fairness, we'd probably be in control of it. So I guess it really doesn't matter. But Ostrander and North were your 2 best options. So I think you could probably just do something like that to know, like, okay, these 2 are your go-to guys towards the bottom here. And then if you had to go after a reliever, I mean, it's honestly a bit of a toss-up. I think you guys are set, though, personally. Let me know if you disagree. I'll go back. For the Rockies, pretty obviously for me, Barney Torres is my guy, Lee Anthony, and then that 3rd spot is a little bit up in the air, but I think it's Ashcraft. Yeah, I think that's my 5 right there. And then we have a shitload of relievers. But to be honest, I mean, it makes sense with the lineup that we have. Like, we have the numbers to pull it off. And I mean, just to say who my best relievers are, let me go back here. Stat-wise, what we got as my 2 best. Had a feeling it was Tate and Gonzalez. Cepeda was up there too, but he also barely played. Tate, Gonzalez, or Cepeda? Interesting. And Williams is the closer, but he also wasn't one of my top 3. Interesting. Might go with that setup there. So, full bullpen. Works for me. Lineup-wise is where it gets interesting on a game-to-game basis. We'll probably set it up as we go. So the question now, as we go to the off-season, I forgot that said sim to postseason. Well, the Expos have won their AL Division Series matchup. Congratulations. Looks like you guys beat Oakland. And have been... It wouldn't let me hit B! What the fuck? And the Mets beat the Royals in the World Series. Cool! Thanks, SDS! You hit one fucking button, and then you don't let me cancel it. Not even an "Are you sure?" Fucking nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? The question is, am I able to salvage this? Or did I just get completely boned? When did that other file last save? A while ago. It might actually still be at the end of the season. We might be okay. I might have to change a couple of things, but we might be okay. How? No, let me fucking... Oh, God. SDS, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me that that's even a possibility. Where am I allowed to load up a franchise mode? If I hit franchise, it just... What? Do I gotta hold the button? Why do you load up the most recent one? I have 2 save files. What the fuck? More options. There we go. Jesus Christ. It was hidden by my microphone. I couldn't see it. I apologize. Alright. Did this save at the end of the season like it was supposed to? It did. Okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. Just gonna have to set the lineups again. You've already seen all the stats. Everything's fine. This button should not fucking exist. Holy shit. Alright. Well. That was a heart attack not worth having. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. That was a heart attack not worth having. Fuck. Fuck. Alright, well, the good news is I know exactly what moves I want to make. So isn't that delightful? Zapata, I hate to tell you, I'm not siding with you. Good God. Good God. That would have been anticlimactic. So shout out to the Mets, who totally just got boned. The Mets, who totally just got boned. How does it feel to get boned like that? How does it feel? So my roster is set. Again. The Montreal roster. Again, we know we send down Davis to call up Cortez. Good God. That was horrifying. Cool. So really quickly with your rotation again. Pretty straightforward. Beautiful. For the Rockies, my God. Get Donaldson in there. Pringle, Torres, Lee, Ashcraft. I have 1,000 relievers apparently. I don't know why it does that. Just put them in the goddamn order. I feel like I have one reliever too many, and I'm not sure why, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. You can really clickbait the title. Apparently, yeah. Apparently we could. Well, anyway, we survived that. With that, let's find out instead who wins the wild card games. Shall we? Shall we? As Toronto plays Oakland, who will the Expos be playing? The answer is Oakland, who beat Toronto 4-0. You guys have your answer. It will be Oakland, and I have my answer. I get to play the Mets again. Woo! You need Coyano. I can't call him up because he wasn't on the 40-man, baby. So there it is. Oakland and Montreal, Colorado, and New York. Game 1. Coming up first for the Rockies. Let's do it. Let us go. Let us go. We will auto-fix all of that for the moment. We will quick manage. Because of course we will. Beautiful cores. Barney Torres on the mound. We are against a lefty in Skubal. So knowing that we're against a lefty, I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my lineup here. And honestly, I don't really have the answer. Between Marte and Marquez. I mean, honestly, Marte was just a better player. And I really don't want to run Angle at second. But I don't really think I can run anybody else at shortstop. Beer, Borden. Honestly, Borden hasn't been great. I want to get Osuna in at center. Cannon of an arm for Tucker, but Bonito Osuna can cover the distance a little bit better. I'm really worried about my whole second base setup and shortstop setup because there's just not much I can do. Because again, Pena, Hines, like the injuries that I've suffered are really going to come back to haunt me here, I think. So, I mean, again, Chauncey Lyle, I feel like was decent at the plate. We're going to have Engel in the 8th spot. Freeman and Hernandez, I mean, neither were great this season for the most part. Osuna leading off sounds good. Honestly, I think that's the lineup right there. Good mix of righties and lefties. Maybe a bit too many lefties consecutively. But it is what it is. I don't hate it. It's a tough lineup to deal with. Game number 1, baby. Let's see how it goes. We will simulate the first half inning, and we're down 2-0 early on. Osuna strikes out. Lyle grounds out. Tucker flies out. Great start, boys. Great start. Baker, single. Might as well go for the old pickoff. Couldn't get him. Lucius Fox, fielder's choice. Pickoff Fox doesn't go. Alvarez pops up. And the Skubal singles. Santiago flies out. Thank God we survived it. Seth Beer flies out. Marte grounds out. Freeman strikes out. Great start, boys. No hits through 2. We're right where we want to be. Oh, Walker strikes out. Batty strikes out. Dominic Smith walks. That doesn't surprise me. Drew Waters grounds out. All right, well. Alberto pops up. Engel singles. Torres can't bunt him over the second. Go for the steal. He got it. Osuna walks. Chauncey Lyle, big chance here. Attaboy Chauncey. We get one on the board. An RBI single. Kyle Tucker, fielder's choice. All right, so 2-1 through 3. Baker singles. Fox walks. Oh, fuck. Alvarez strikes out. Skubal. Sack bunt. Santiago drives in a run. Walker lines out. 3-1 New York here in game 1. Beer flies out. Marte strikes out. Freeman doubles with 2 outs. Hernandez can't bring him home. I'm going to see if I can get one more inning here out of Torres. Batty strikes out. Smith pops up. Waters strikes out. Not bad. Engel strikes out. Torres strikes out. Osuna triples. Lyle can't bring him home. Baker walks. Fox singles. Oh, fuck. Alvarez drives him in. I'm going to bring on Arojo. Skubal strikes out. Santiago double play, thank God. Well, I'm down 4-1 here. Kyle Tucker strikes out. Seth Beer grounds out. Marte strikes out. Walker singles. Batty singles. Smith. So this sim engine appears to work just like it did in all the prior years. Surprise, surprise. Let's go for Bucky Tate. 3-run shot. Strikeout, ground out, solo shot. Let's bring in Gonzalez. 9-1 Mets. Strikeout, a walk, a pitching change. Angle flies out, and Gonzalez strikes out. Well, this is a time. I'm glad this works exactly the way it did before. Bottom of the ninth, down by 8. Seth Beer grounds out. Marte grounds out. Freeman walks. Hernandez flies out, and the Mets take game 1 of this best of 5 by the score of 9-1. For the record, in terms of what I'm up against here, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Fuck. To show you guys what you're up against, even though you've already seen it this season, you also very much have a problem in the first round. Best of luck to both of us, huh? Even though in the accidental sim, you made it past Oakland, but will you under these circumstances? That is the question. We go to game number 1. Expos. And A's. Here we go. Tampa beat KC. Pittsburgh beat Atlanta. And we go to this moment here for the best team in baseball, the Expos. Mac, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. La Poutine Park is the place. James Shim is the pitcher. And in terms of the lineup, I mean, you probably want to try to find a way to work in Meisner and Benson. Carroll was trash. Definitely Meisner in over Carroll. The only question is in the outfield. Tejera played in very limited games but was on fire. Armas was fantastic with a 948. And then Chavez at DH was a 784. Whereas Benson was an 845. So I feel like Bernardo Chavez is the guy to sit here, right? I feel like Chavez is the guy to sit. Based off of the stats, any disagreements? Bring in Benson. I mean, he has good fielding. Armas does not. Probably swap him and Armas, have Armas play as DH. Any disagreements? I am, of course, trying to set you guys up as best as I possibly can. And, I mean, in terms of the lineup, we really can just base it off of, like, OPS or whatever the hell you guys want. I mean, it's up to you if you want speed at the top of the lineup. I can sort it by speed first. But for the most part here, if you do just go off of like OPS as a base kind of setup here, Chen ahead of Meisner, Benson, honestly, all three of these guys are solid, no matter what the hell you do. What was Meisner at? An 833. Benson was at an 845. Chen was at an 881. Pena, 823. I mean, you guys are fucking golden in this lineup right now. It's crazy. Armas was the best of the bunch at a 948. Tejera is, I mean, try to ride the lightning on that one. Jones at a 926. Honestly, I mean, Armas ahead of Jones right now. If you base it off of stats, it might not be the worst idea. Garcia was at a 724. Ramirez was at a 570. Woof. So Garcia and Carvajal's good enough to hit there. Honestly, I think because of the speed, probably go with something like this, and I think you guys are golden. I think that's a tremendous lineup right there for this first game. Any disagreements, chat? Are you ready for game one? I lost my first ever playoff game. Will you do the same is the question. What will it be? We're going for it. James Shim against Pedro Mateo to start things off. He strikes out. Armenteros pops up. Ian Happ lines out. 1-2-3. Top of the first. Carvajal against Colby Allard. 88 overall, Colby Allard. Carvajal triples to start things off. Sack fly or swing? What do you guys think? I'll leave it up to you. Some of these big decisions, I would personally just swing. I don't feel like the sack fly is worth it with Tejera. He has 73 bunting though, so it's at least worth posing the question. It's worth posing the question. Britt's saying swing away. Allard. I'm going with Allard though, because I want to swing away. RBI single for Andreas Tejera. Honestly, do we steal? It's your team. I'm trying to figure out how much control I'd give you. Do you want to go for the early steal with Tejera? What do you think? 73 speed? A beautiful 73 speed? Britt's saying why not? What will it be? It's early steal. I'm just saying it's an option. It's an option. People saying go for it. Successful steal for Tejera. Armas flies out. Frank Jones singles. Michael Chen with 2 on. Drives them both in with an RBI double. 2 RBI double. It's 3-0 Montreal. Will Benson flies out but moves the guy over. Meisner brings him home. It's 4-0 Montreal. We'll steal with Meisner. If someone has over a 70 speed, I'm stealing, even though his steal rating sucks, and Meisner gets it. Pena brings him home with a 2-run shot. 6-0 for your Montreal Expos. Their starter is pulled through 2/3 of an inning. The Expos are here in the playoffs. Garcia grounds out to end it. 6-0 Montreal at the end of the first inning. Bradley strikes out. DeYoung hits a solo shot at 6-1. Davidson strikes out. Jonah Bride flies out. Carvajal grounds out. Tejera triples. Armas walks. Interesting call here with Frank Jones, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Real interesting call for Frank Jones. Swing away, sack fly. What do you think? As you guys are just kicking the shit out of Oakland right now. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I mean, crazy, in fairness, my last name wasn't in any video games either until I, you know, started making content. Tell them to Frank it. The triples and yeah, right? Le Poutine. Swing away. All right, we're doing it. There's a decent amount of swing sack fly here. Man, landed close to the sack fly, you could argue. Let's just go for it. Frankie boy, fielder's choice, doesn't get him in. Michael Chen also flies out. Well, there we go. Austin Allen strikes out. Marcos Burrito. Solo shot as well. It's now 6-2. Mateo doubles. Armenteros sack bunts into third with 2 outs. Ian Happ flies out. 6-2. Benson singles. Doesn't have the speed. Meisner strikes out. Pena brings him in on an RBI double. 7-2 now for the Expos. Garcia flies out. Carvajal walks. Tejera flies out. That brings us through 3. It's 7-2. Bradley, although question about James Shim. We'll see how much longer he goes. Single for Bradley. DeYoung hits a 2-run shot. Do we think about taking out James Shim? Save him for a rainy day. He's starting to struggle a little bit. This game's close. This game's a little bit closer than I think you guys thought it might be at this point in time. What will it be for Shim? Going in 10. Keep him in for now, all right. Gives up a walk to Davidson. Strikes out Bride. Walks Allen. Your decision now, chat. Your decision now. 2 on, 1 out. Britt's calling for the bullpen. It's going to have to be a long reliever. There it is. He's getting pulled. It's going to be Ponce. He's your best long reliever. Let's see what Duncan can do. The runner's thrown out at home. The big play there. And strikes him out. Duncan Ponce gets you out of it. So now 7-4. Armas singles. Jones double play. Michael Chen grounds out. Let's see what Ponce can continue to do here. Armenteros flies out. Happ grounds out. Bradley with a solo shot. It's 7-5. DeYoung strikes out. Benson with the ground out. Meisner grounds out. Pena flies out. It's pretty rough. See what Ponce can do. Davidson grounds out. Bride lines out. Allen strikes out. Good stuff from Ponce aside from the solo shot. Carvajal will go for the steal. He gets it. Tejera can't bring him home. Armas brings him home with an RBI triple. It's 8-5 Montreal. And Frank Jones flies out. What do you guys think? One more inning out of Ponce? Or pull him now? Save some energy for next time, because otherwise, if you need a long reliever, you're going to have to rely on Mitchell, who didn't pitch in the majors practically at all. If you go for the pull here, you probably try to get the most out of Ostrander. All right, new reliever. Gonna go for Ostrander. North's your best. I mean, it's up to you. It's Ostrander or North. North has been your closer all season long. 47 saves. But if you want to bring him in to try and, shut things down, I mean, again, these two are your best relievers. We'll be seeing these two pretty much the entire time unless they start to suck. Then we'll rely on the other three. We got a shout for Ostrander. FJ dropping the 3 months. FJ, thank you for that, buddy. Very much appreciated. And it's official, we're going for Ostrander. Brito strikes out. Mateo flies out. Armenteros strikes out. Nice 1-2-3 inning there. Michael Chen against Jordan Romano. He walks. Benson walks. Mark Wahlberg is wearing a hat. Cameron Meisner. What's his bunting rating? Could get Meisner to bunt them both in the scoring position. What do you think, chat? Again, I'm going to try to leave as many decisions up to you as possible. It is your team, after all. Do we bunt or swing away with Cameron Meisner? Has an RBI and a stolen base in this game. It is a 3-run lead at this stage. What will it be? People are calling for the bunt. Successfully bunts them over. Richard Pena, 3 RBI game already. He walks, bases loaded for Eduardo Garcia. Now, obviously, the guys on the bench haven't necessarily been that much better. Romano is a righty. Garcia's not a lefty. The guy would be Carroll. It could be Carroll being brought in. Corbin Carroll, though, a 651 OPS. In the regular season, Garcia was at a 724. Are we pinch hitting Carroll for Garcia, or do we go for it? Hell of a situation here to seal the deal on this game. Hell of a situation. Fritz is calling for Carroll. What do we think? It means Ramirez will be brought in on defense. Carroll against righties. Worse than he is against lefties, because it's the big contact against lefties. Garcia's at a 66 and a 52. Alright, we're going for it. Fielder's choice. The runner does not score. Carvajal flies out. Wasted opportunity again. Ostrander walks Happ. Bradley flies out. DeYoung double play. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Tejera against Sinich. Flies out. Armas flies out. Jones strikes out. So here we go. Are we leaving Ostrander in? Or do we go for North to seal the deal? Ostrander's been hot so far. Do you bring in the shutdown man in one Dennis North? The 28-year-old. It's split right now. What are we thinking, chat? More calls for keep. Another call for North. Another call for keep. I think it's going to be Arlo. It's close. We're going with Arlo for the moment. Strikes out Davidson. Bride flies out. Austin Allen walks. Chat, what do you think now? So we're going to enter the game to see how this plays out. What do you think now? I have a sneaking suspicion here that all of a sudden it's going to be like, yeah, go for North. Does Arlo get out of the situation? Still seeing keep calls. All right, let's see what Arlo can do. Your first bit of playoff action at Le Poutine Park. And a big pitch down the middle for Ostrander. Big pitch down the middle. The 0-1. A little bit low. Good old Le Poutine Park. Arlo misses again. And again, Arlo misses. Against the 9 spot. Gets him there. Full count. 2 outs to seal the deal. Arlo Ostrander. Can he get the win for the Expos? Yes, he can. And the Expos win their first playoff game. 8-5 the final. Yeah, beautiful. What the fuck is that? Le Poutine Park. The Expos get it done. Arlo Ostrander. Look at this beautiful ballpark, baby. It's unbelievable. What a palace. A real cathedral of baseball. 8-5 your final. The Expos get the win. Pena, the player of the game. Duncan Ponce gets a W. Arlo gets the 3-inning save. That is a hell of a way to start things off for the A's. All right. We do prepare and be ready for game number 2, Mets and Rockies. I am in a situation here now, down 0-1. Let's see what we can do. It'll be Lee Anthony on the mound. Hernandez definitely won't be playing. Bueller as a righty. We're going to have Gore at catcher. Hernandez will be out. I'm going to go with Marquez. Marte didn't exactly set the world on fire in that first game. Yeah, we got to give Marquez a chance. Freeman at shortstop. That's all fine. All right. So Engel. Go down there. Can't say we have a huge speed threat at this stage, but that is okay. Let's go for it here. Lee Anthony on the mound for the Rockies. Ground out to Santiago. Walks Walker. Go figure. Batty. Double play. Let's go, boys. Leadoff triple for Osuna. Lyle can't bring him home. Tucker brings him home. Thank you, Kyle. Seth Beer flies out. Smith flies out. A double. Double play. Not bad, boys. Freeman walks. Anthony. Oh, boy. Grounds out. All right, that's rough. Walker Bueller just got a single. Are you kidding me? Thank God they didn't do anything with it. Leadoff single for Osuna. Gets the steal. Lyle bunt him. Tucker can't bring him home. Beer can't bring him home. Leadoff double for Walker. Ground out. Fly out. 2-run shot for Waters, and the Mets take the lead. Damn. Freeman leadoff single. Marquez into a double play. Gore walks. Engel strikes out. Not a great start for us here. Man, Walker Bueller is crushing it. Jesus. Anthony strikes out. Osuna grounds out. Lyle grounds out. Not great. I got one more inning out of Anthony. Yes, I can. Bottom of the sixth, I'm down 2-1. Tucker walks. Beer flies out. Freeman singles. 2 on, 1 out for Marquez. He strikes out. Gore flies out. I am very disappointed in some of my players here. Anthony, I mean, you're 6 down. Honestly, I'm going to go for that pitching change. Gonzalez and Tate are still a little bit tired. Let's go to the old man, Alejandro Zepeda. Single for Kingery. Bueller strikes out. Bottom of the 7th, we're still down by 1. Engel grounds out. Zepeda will pinch hit for Bueller is a righty. Big chance here for Borden. Flies out. Let's go to McWilliams. Nice 1, 2, 3. Bueller's got to be subbed out here, right? Yeah. Lyle flies out. Tucker strikes out. Beer grounds out. My big players are just not showing up. Smith singles. Waters singles. Baker walks. Let's bring on Yamamoto to hope for the best. Kingery lines out. Alvarez flies out. Martin, pinch hitter Nunez, grounds out. What a job there by Yamamoto to get out of that. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 9th. Down by 1. Can the Rockies get it done and tie this series up? If not, I'm down 0-2 in a best of 5 and shitting myself. Roberto Osuna is on, so I know you guys will be rooting for me. How could you not? How could you not? Tyler Freeman. Two singles in this game for Tyler. We desperately need something here. Rally towels are out, boys. Come on. Fastball in for strike one. Come on, boys. Time to start the rally. Ball in. 0-2 for Osuna. Hit for Freeman to the third baseman. One away. One away. Brings up Austin Marquez. Gave him a chance to be in the lineup today. And he's honestly screwed it. I don't know if we'll see him in Game 3 unless he pulls off something here. Austin Marquez. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Deep center, just shy of the warning track. Out number 2. Down to our final out, facing an 0-2 deficit. And it's going to be Russ Gore. Trying to play for his spot. Takes the slurve for ball 1. Come on, Gore. One swing of the bat. That's all it takes. Grounds out to second. The Mets take a 2-0 series lead on the Colorado Rockies. Looking like me in a conquest game. The Mets are 1 win away from the NLCS. And it is a rough situation for the top team in the NL in Colorado. A very, very tough situation for me now. Osuna 2 saves to start off this series. It's pretty rough, man. It's pretty rough. With that, we go to the next day. It is Game 2 for the Expos. As on the day, Tampa beats Kansas City. Loputian Park, the site. Tom Bowers takes the mound. Actually, in fairness, there should probably be Scotty Vela. He was your second best pitcher all year. It'll be Scotty Vela. From there, you definitely want to get Tejera back in there. It's not even really a question. I think, again, Chavez out. Get Armas at DH. Basically the same exact lineup you guys had last time. Same lineup you had last time. Pena was solid too. We'll bump him up a little bit. Alright, game number 2. Let's see what Scotty Vela can do. And he gives up a solo shot to Armenteros. Immediately. Yikes. Davidson singles. Happ singles. Boy, Scotty Vela's second half of the season has been abysmal. Bradley strikes out. Ramirez flies out. DeYoung strikes out. He gets out of it, only allowing 1. Carvajal grounds out. Tejera flies out. Jones singles. Armas singles. Michael Chen strikes out. Walk for Bride. Allen walks. You guys might have a decision to make with Scotty Vela early. Britos flies out. Armenteros walks. Davidson. 2 runners score. The third was thrown out on a bases clearing double. Happ grounds out. It's 3-0 Oakland through 2. Meisner pops up. Benson hits a solo shot. Big moment there for Benson. It's now 3-1. Garcia doubles. Carvajal can't bring him home. People are saying get him out. All right. Well, he got out of that situation, but people are saying get him out. Going once. Going twice. Mac now saying keep him in. What's it going to be? Are we going to see Ponce or Mitchell again? Now they're saying keep. Boy, you wishy-washy. Wishy-washy. We're keeping him. Bradley singles. Ramirez pops up. DeYoung strikes out. Bride can't bring him home. Leadoff single for Tejera. Gets the steal. Jones strikes out. Armas singles. Chen walks. Bases loaded. One out for Richard Pena, and he brings in the runner on a walk. Gonzalez walking in. Meisner brings him home on a single. We're tied at 3. Benson strikes out. Garcia strikes out with the bases loaded, but we're tied at 3 through 3. Allen strikes out. Brito strikes out. Armenteros strikes out the side. Walk for Carvajal. Gets the steal. I feel like it's safe to say the majority of you would say bunt. I would say bunt. He has a 73 in bunting. Every run's probably going to count. Jones doesn't succeed on the sac fly. Armas doesn't bring him home. Vela's tired of shit. He's got to be out of there for you guys. It's too big of a risk. So, probably going to Ponce again. Probably going to Ponce again. I mean, you know how solid he is. You haven't seen anything from Mitchell. We'll go to Duncan Ponce one more time. Davidson grounds out. Happ strikes out. Bradley flies out. 1-2-3 for Ponce. One out single for Pena. Meisner into the double play. Duncan Ponce is dominating right now.
Oh, good!
Aaron Nola brought in. Grape drink. Thank you for the follow. Leadoff single for Benson. Garcia into a fielder's choice. Carvajal strikes out. Tejera grounds out. We go to the 7th. Could probably still afford to leave Ponce in for another half inning. Allen grounds out. Brito doubles. Armenteros flies out. Davidson can't bring him home. Stuck with Ponce for one more half inning. It worked out. We'll definitely bring him out in the next one. Jones pops up. Armas singles. Chen strikes out. Pena pops up. We go to the 8th. Grape, I am a Red Sox fan. And at this stage, it can't be Ostrander. It might as well be North. He's your best option. We'll see if he can hold it down for 2 innings. Happ doubles. Bradley. Pinch runner Mateo's brought in. Bradley can't bring him home. Ramirez can't bring him home. DeYoung can't bring him home. Great job there for Dennis North. Bottom of the 8th. Meisner grounds out. Benson pops up. Garcia singles. Go for the steal. He gets it. Can Carvajal bring him home? Yes, he can. Eric Carvajal. A 2-run shot. Tejera singles. Gets the steal. Jones now against Jordan Romano. Gets thrown out at home. We go to the top of the 9th. Dennis North. Do you agree with my decision to let him try to hold down 2 innings? You should. Because again, these other guys sucked for the most part compared to North. I'm going to save you from yourselves and leave in North. And we're going to see if he can shut things down. Who else do we have? Lesser pitchers, catcher. Lesser pitchers. Can the Expos take a 2-0 series lead at Lapoutine Park as the #1 team in baseball? We are about to find out. Dennis North. Fastball, slider in there, excuse me, for strike 1. The now infamous, world famous Lapoutine Park. Low fastball. Check swing, but he went around. The fans rise to their feet already very high up in the air. Dennis North, the 1-2. Contact over the second. Easy throw on the first. 1 down. 1 down for the Expos. Carvajal makes the play. And the AI brings in Arlo Ostrander. Well, let's see if your AI manager just fucked it, chat, because he might have. The AI brings in Arlo. Obviously wasn't me. Let's see what Arlo can do. First pitch, swing and a miss on the 4-seam. Austin Allen. Misses down the middle on the changeup. The 0-2 for Arlo. Tremendous performance in game 1. Didn't think we'd see him in game 2, but here we are. The 0-2 to Allen. What can Ostrander do? Can't get him to bite on the fastball. 95 on the gunla. Top of the ninth, a 1-0 series lead for the Expos, and again holds off on the changeup. Back to even. Misses the corner on the changeup from 0-2 to full count at this stage. Britos on deck. Here we go. Tremendous patience from Allen. Contact with the shift, gets through. What a battle back from Allen. 0-2 down. Gets the hit to left. On the full count. Marcos Brito is up. Contact, third baseman, double play chance. The Expos take a 2-0 series lead in the ALDS. The #1 team in baseball. Getting it done. The fans at La Poutine. Pumped. Arlo does it again, 2 games in a row. An Osuna-esque performance, dare I say. It's almost like you should be a sports broadcaster. Well, you know. I do love trading these games as a bit of practice, you know? So a big, big win for the Expos. They take that 2-0 series lead with them to Oakland. Eric Carvajal, player of the game, with that 2-run shot that proved to be the difference maker in the bottom of the 8th. Wish we could have seen that shot given the walls, but you know, what are you going to do? So, 2-0. You guys don't play again until Monday. We're about to find out what's going to happen with the Rockies. Outscored 11-2 in this series. We head to Sunday. We head to New York. And are the Rockies done? One and done. A 1.36 average and a 5.5 ERA to the first 2 games. It's been absolutely abysmal. Citi Field is the site. Braxton Ashcraft is the pitcher. And in terms of the lineup, I mean, I got to do something. Russ Gore is definitely out. We'll play Alberto Hernandez. In terms of other options, Marquez is definitely out. Marte is probably out as well. So I think we're going to go with Seth Beer at first. Give James Borden a chance in the outfield. And then Hines and Pena might just find their way in. I haven't been overly impressed with Engel. So to be honest, we'll move Freeman to second. We'll take Engel out for Pena. Again, Seth Beer, Kyle Tucker have been massive disappointments. Lyle hasn't done much either. So we'll give a chance to Rhys Hines. Going with perhaps a controversial lineup, but doing what I feel like has to be done. We'll play Borden as the leadoff. Definitely want Pena towards the bottom half here. Honestly, let's go with Borden. Probably Osuna and Borden. Best of 5 in this round. Best of 5. And again, I just need Beer and Tucker to show up. It's my only chance. Here we go. Game number 3. Can the Mets end this series? Osuna with a leadoff single. Steals second. Borden bunts him over. Beer completes the sac fly. 1-0 Rockies to start things off. Tucker walks. Freeman hits him home on an RBI double. Very good start for the Rockies here. Hernandez walks. Hines walks. Bases loaded for Andreas Pena. And he drives in 2 on the single. 4-0 Colorado. Let's go, boys. Ashcraft, fielder's choice. That's it, though. What a start for the Rockies. See what Ashcraft can do. Nearly struck out the side. Took 2 down that way. Not a very good top of the second, though. Smith grounds out. Waters grounds out. Baker flies out. Great job so far from Ashcraft. Tucker's on. Leadoff single. Freeman strikes out. Hernandez walks. 2 on for Rhys Hines. He strikes out. Pena. Can you move your team to Mexico City? I might. Pena strikes out as well. The embarrassment of losing this if we get swept. We'll see what happens. Strikeout there. Alvarez flies out. Jordan grounds out. What a start for Ashcraft. He's leading off. We'll have him bunt. He grounds out. Osuna strikes out. Borden flies out. Fly out for Santiago. Walker hits a solo shot, and the Mets are on the board. Batty singles. Smith sack bunts him over to second. Waters grounds out. All right, so 4-1 through 4. Seth Beer with a leadoff single. Tucker flies out. Freeman singles. Tying run, or not tying run, but, an insurance run on third. Hernandez against Alex Fagalde. They go with the pitching change. Sack fly is successful. 5-1. We get the steal with Freeman. Hines, bang! Bam! Rhys Hines, you'll love to see it. 6-1. Pena flies out. What a start for the Rockies. My God, if we lose this game now. Baker grounds out. Kingery strikes out. Alvarez grounds out. What a performance from Ashcraft. We'll have him swing away there. Osuna flies out. Borden flies out. Fagalde pinch hit for. It's Nunez. Grounds out. Santiago down. Walker singles with 2 outs. Batty flies out. 6-1 through 6. Beer against Thad Ward. Fly out. Tucker strikes out. Freeman grounds out. I got to keep Ashcraft in. Smith grounds out. Waters singles. Baker double play ball. Let's go. Braxton Ashcraft. Hernandez strikes out. Hines singles. Pena strikes out. Ashcraft strikes out. Kingery pop-up. Alvarez flies out. Ward against Lucius, or now against Lucius Fox. He pops up. 6-1 through 8. Osuna against Barria. Singles. Gets the steal. Borden can't bunt him over. Beer brings him home with a 2-run shot. Seth Beer. 8-1 Rockies. We head to the 9th. Ashcraft looking to finish this one off. Santiago grounds out. Walker walks. Go figure. Batty strikes out. And Smith done. 8-1 win in an elimination game for the Rockies. Braxton Ashcraft goes the distance. Allows just 1 run on 4 hits with 6 Ks. What a performance from Braxton Ashcraft. And the Rockies stay alive. I was not taking him out of that game. Not a chance in hell. So the Rockies stay alive. We go to Monday, where it's actually an earlier start for us, being in New York. I'm kind of afraid, though, that the time might screw up, because it lists you guys first. So I'm kind of afraid it might accidentally sim my game here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to save just in case, and then that way I can back out. Because the timing's different, but you guys are in that position where you look like you'd be playing first. So, I'm intrigued. So let's see what we got. Let's try to go here first. Alright, yep. I had a feeling, because you guys were in that first spot, that even though the times are different, it technically counts your game first. Figure that one out. So here we go. Maybe not. All preceding games will be simulated. Yeah, we're good. That's so weird. So weird. SDS, you gotta fix that. So here we go. In Oakland for the first time, with a chance to end this series, it will be the rookie, Tom Bowers. Rookie of the year in the AL, taking the mound, trying to close this one out. And in terms of the lineup, again, I think you guys got a winning formula. Bring in Tejera, of course, and move Armas to DH. You guys got a winning formula with that. Well, Britt, I have to change it every time because it resets itself. because we don't technically have it saved from where it was. But yeah, it's the same change I've been making basically every time. So here we go. Can the Expos punch their ticket to the ALCS? Carvajal, leadoff double. Tejera. I have no idea what the fuck just happened. Tejera. Sack bunts him over. Jones. Successful sack fly. 1-0 Expos. And Armas strikes out. See what Bowers can do. Played a little bit of small ball there. Mateo grounds out. Armenteros flies out. Happ flies out. Great start there for the rookie. Pena with a 1-out walk. Meisner singles. 2 on, 1 out for Benson, who walks. Bases loaded for Eduardo Garcia. Chad, are we swinging away or is it a sac fly? An amazing opportunity here for Eduardo Garcia. What do you think? I mean, 1 out, you could go for the sac fly and then swing away. Catcher going swing away. Zemgia, swing away. We're swinging. And it's a fielder's choice. No runner scores. Eric Carvajal. Grand slam for Carvajal. It's 5-0 Montreal. Eric Carvajal does it again. Leadoff single for Bradley. DeYoung into a fielder's choice. Davidson flies out. Bride grounds out. 5-0 through 2. Jones with a leadoff single. Armas can't move him over. Chen singles. 2 on, 1 out for Pena. And that's it for their starter. An early change. Scott Sinich is brought on. Pena flies out, gets the potential scoring run over to third. Meisner can't bring him home, though. Allen grounds out. Burritos singles. Mateo, fielder's choice. Armentero walks. Ian Happ strikes out. Benson, Garcia, Carvajal, nothing doing there. Bradley flies out. Anything interesting? No. 1, 2, 3 innings on both sides. Armas with a 2-out walk. Chen can't bring him home. As Tom Bowers just keeps him mowing through the A's lineup. Benson with a 2-out walk. Gets caught stealing. It was worth the risk. Mateo walks. Sack bunt to get him over to second. Sack bunt to get him over to third. Bradley can't bring him home. Garcia grounds out. Carvajal, Tejera, nothing doing. Tom Bowers in the bottom of the 7th. I mean, if I'm you, I do what I did and just leave him in. I feel like that's the pretty obvious approach here. Just leave him in. Because why would you not? It worked out for me with Ashcraft. He's been fantastic. DeYoung flies out. Davidson flies out. Bride grounds out. Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable. Romano's on. Single for Jones. Armas, fielder's choice. Chen strikes out. Pena singles. 2 on, 2 outs for Meisner, who walks. Bases loaded for Will Benson. And he brings in a run on a walk. 6-0 Expos. Garcia against Aaron Nola. Grounds out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bowers against Allen. Strikes him out. Brito grounds out. Mateo flies out. We go to the 9th. Carvajal. Tejera. Jones with a 2-out single. Armas strikes out. Tom Bowers. Tom Bowers. For the hell of it, it's a monumental moment. We'll enter the game. If your AI takes him out, they take him out. We will see what they do. But ultimately, it is history being made here. The Expos are back, and they are going to sweep Oakland in. The 0-1 to Armenteros. Fouled off. Tom Bowers, the AL Rookie of the Year. In your first playoff appearance. How is this going to go? That is the question. Thank you, Devs. Can't get him swinging on the fastball. The rally towels are out in Oakland, but let's be honest, there is no hope. Bowers. Can't get him swinging on a horrible inside changeup. Nowhere close. You could say that's the point, but I don't think he meant to miss that badly. Here we go. The 2-2. Gets him looking on a fastball down the middle. 2 outs away. 2 outs away. Brutal from Armenteros. Literally right down the middle. Froze him up. 89-mile-an-hour 2-seam. Maybe he thought it was a breaking ball. Or maybe the AI is horrible. Who's to say? Ian Happ takes that fastball. Oh, Oakland. The situation you find yourselves in, huh? The situation you find yourselves in. Contact to the left. They were in the shift. That one's going to get down. And it's going to be a double for Happ with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. So Happ is on. Bowers stays in. Faces Bobby Bradley. Just misses on a fastball. 4 for 11 with a home run and an RBI in the series for Bradley. See what Bowers can do on the 1-0. Fouled off. Towards the heart of the plate on that one. Got away with it. The 1-1. Hits the bottom corner. Perhaps controversial. But it's a 1-2 now for Bowers. Here's the pitch. Contact over to first. Caught it clean. 2 down. The Expos 1 out away. As Michael Chen makes the play, the Expos 1 out away. The little engine that could. There he is. Paul DeJong steps up in what could be the last at bat for this Oakland season. Tom Bowers now on 100 pitches. And we'll see if he can finish this one in relatively quick fashion. Just hits the zone. The 0-1, another perhaps somewhat favorable call for Tommy Bowers, the rookie of the year. That cannot be emphasized enough what he is accomplishing for you guys. DeJong. The 0-1 holds off on a outside sinker. Very far away from the corner. Delivery. Contact fouled off. The A is down for the moment to their last strike. Can Tom Bowers send the Expos to the ALCS? Fouled off again. DeJong staying alive. The Expos started off hot and never looked back. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. DeJong hanging in there. Here comes the 2-2. And the pitch. Just on the outside again with the slider. DeJong. Good patience. Full count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. A 6-run deficit. Tom Bowers for the complete game shutout. Gets him in the corner. And the Montreal Expos sweep Oakland. Here in the first round. They are on to the ALCS. What incredible performances from Ashcraft and Bowers. Bowers gets it done. And the Expos march on to the next round. They make the playoffs for the first time, and that is not where the journey will stop. You never expect the first time you make the playoffs to be the one where you go all the way, but you don't know. You just never know how it could play out. Montreal moves on. Tommy Bowers, 9 innings, 3 Ks, 5 walks. Or excuse me, 3 hits, 5 Ks, 2 walks, no earned runs. There we go. An incredible effort from Bowers and the Expos. 5 runs of the 6 scored in the first 2 innings. Carvajal with the grand slam. What an effort. And again now, for the Expos, they await the winner of the Rays or Royals. Of course, in the accidental sim, it was the Royals. But right now, the Rays have that 2-1 lead. And we look at, I was hoping for the playoff stats. Give me the playoff stats, man. Give me the playoff stats. We'll just look at the lineup. I mean, rotation-wise, for you guys, again, like James Shim, it was rough. It was rough for Shim. Bowers was obviously phenomenal. Scotty Vella wasn't great either. The bullpen really bailed you out. Duncan Ponce was phenomenal. Of course, Arlo Ostrander, fantastic, as was Dennis North in his limited appearances. So the big names getting you through right now. And then lineup-wise, I mean, Carvajal, straight 3s through 12 at-bats. He's been fantastic. Eduardo Garcia has sucked. He was better than Ramirez in the regular season, but maybe you try out Derek Ramirez. Frank Jones was fantastic, even though he only had 1 RBI. Armas was fantastic. Michael Chen, you want him to be a little bit better. Not bad enough to replace. Of course, Bernardo Chavez never played. Meisner hitting 300, not too bad. Benson at 375, and Pena straight 4s. Of course, Tejera playing in favor of Chavez, a 308 average. I mean, yeah, you got that big decision to make. Maybe Derek Ramirez is the guy to put in over Eduardo Garcia. With that, we change our attention to the Rockies. Can they stay alive is the question. Or can we force a Game 5 back in Colorado? Mac, I am well aware, but also I figured we'd have a lot of lineup changes. Here we go. Season on the line once more in Citi Field. And I pretty much have no choice but to say it will be Gregory Pringle trying to save the day. Lineup-wise, it's honestly a little bit tough. At catcher, I mean, God, who do they have? They have a righty. Both these guys have struggled. Better against righties is Gore. Gore will play. In terms of first baseman, both struggled. Probably go with Marte at first if I have to go with somebody. In terms of the second base situation, it is Engel or Pena. It's probably going to be Pena. There's really no other choice there. Again, Hines can only play third. Lyle can play first. Yeah, I mean, I'm screwed because of these injuries. I really am. And Freeman's been great. Gore's kind of struggled. My best players have been trash. Borden didn't make the most of his opportunity. Honestly, Engel hasn't been that bad. Lyle has really struggled. Hines actually wasn't that bad when he played, so he'll still be in. It's just been my biggest players have absolutely let me down. As much as that sucks. I think we're good. I think we got our lineup. The big question is, where do we go? Probably drop Gore down. Honestly, drop Marte down. Can't believe I'm saying this either, but, you know, if you're not going to deliver, take a seat. Pretty much the attitude. I'm a bit afraid to have Pena hitting leadoff, but we'll go for it. Probably got Pena, Hines, Osuna, Freeman. I never imagined this, but here we are. Season on the line. Let's see how it goes. 1 out single for Hines. Osuna pops up. Freeman walks. 2 on, 2 outs for Seth Beer, and he flies out. That's the story of Seth Beer this postseason. Santiago, leadoff single, a flyout. Batty, fielder's choice. Smith strikes out. Not too bad there. Absolutely nothing there in that half inning. Leadoff double for Waters. A follow-up walk. Kingery with a 3-run shot off of Pringle. And the Mets take the lead. 1 out double for Merced. Can they bring him home? The answer's no. That was rough for Pringle. I'm not going to take him out yet, but boy am I tempted. 2 out single for Hines. Osuna can't do anything with that. Smith grounds out. Waters flies out. Baker pops up. Nice 1-2-3 there. We can get nothing going. 2 out single for Tucker. Marte walks. 2 on, 2 outs for Russ Gore, and he walks. Bases loaded for Pringle. So that means I have no choice but to take out Gregory Pringle. And honestly, it's gotta be Borden. It's gotta be. He's one of our star players. James Borden, bases loaded, 2 outs. Brings in a run on a single. Andreas Pena pops up. At least got a run out of it, but my God, not ideal. We got to bring in Batson here. Kingery walks. Alvarez walks. Merced strikes out. Santiago grounds out. 2 in scoring position with 2 outs for Steele Walker. He grounds out. Thank God. Absolutely nothing doing in that half inning. Through 5, it's 3-1 Mets with my season on the line. Beer strikes out. Tucker singles. Marte strikes out. Gore flies out. Good God. The bats just aren't there. Nice 1-2-3 inning there. We go to the 7th. Batson's got to be done. So righty for Merced. We got no choice. It's got to be Gerald Engel, who lines out. Pena strikes out. Hines grounds out. We are in a world of trouble here. It'll be Bucky Tate. Hits Santiago. Fielder's choice. There we go. He gets through it to the 8th. Osuna pops up. Freeman grounds out. Beer singles. Tucker strikes out. Solo shot for Waters. 4-1 for the Mets. A defensive substitution, apparently. Kingery singles. There must have been an injury, and there's the strikeout. We go to the 9th. This is it. We might as well watch it because this is pretty much the finale of this. Barring an incredible comeback, the Rockies are done in round 1 after being the top team in the NL. Will this be the last time we see us in Colorado? Might I move the team out of spite? It could very well happen. As they bring on Roberto Osuna for the 3rd time. 4 attempts. Andreas Marte. Hitless in this series so far. Absolutely brutal. The Mets are going to make this happen. Whoops. Don't want to do that. Here we go. Let's see what Marte can do. Takes a fastball on the inside. Strike 1. Will this be our last game as the Rockies? It could be. It could be. Osuna, the 0-1, misses horribly on a slurve. Fouled off by Marte. It's been an incredibly disappointing offseason, or postseason. Probably going to be an offseason, too, for Marte. That's not going to be all that exciting. The 1-2 just misses on the corner. 2-2 count to Andreas Marte. Let's see what he can do here. Here's the pitch. Hit to the second baseman. That's 1 away for the Mets. One down for the Mets. Here comes catcher Russ Gore. Hitless in this series. Hitless. Let's see what Russ Gore can do. Takes the first pitch, a fastball up high. It's been the story of this series. The Mets pitching, getting the job done. Here's the 1-0. This is again up high on the fastball. Those beautiful purple unis. The 2-0 from Osuna. Taken. Fastball inside. 2-1. Or to the outside, but inside the strike zone. 2-1. Gore fouls one off from 2-0 to 2-2. Takes a slurve up high, full count for Russ Gore. Pinch hitter coming up next. Gore fouls one off. The low cutter. Full count again. Osuna the pitch. Misses, and Russ Gore draws what could be a crucial walk with one down in the bottom of the ninth. The pinch hitter is on, and it is Austin Marquez, the first baseman, who is hitless in this series. He is a righty, so we'll see how it works out. Marquez and Osuna takes the first pitch, a changeup on the inside corner. The 0-1 fouled off. A quick 0-2 to Austin Marquez. Holds off on a slurve well outside. Can Roberto Osuna get this second out? Here's the pitch. Just missed on the slurve. 2-2. Can Marquez get something going for the Rockies here? That is the question. 2-2. Swings and misses on the cutter. And the Rockies are down to their final out. A nasty cutter from Roberto Osuna fools Marquez. We are down to our last out. That brings up Andres Pena, 1 for 8 in the series. The Rockies down to their last out. Takes a low fastball for strike one. This is on the slurve. It's probably been one of the worst postseason performances as a team I've ever seen. At the plate, at least. Especially because we play at Coors for 2 of the games. Hit out to left for Pena. Left fielder underneath it, and the New York Mets are going to the NLCS. Roberto Osuna, 3 appearances, 3 saves. And the Rockies are bounced in 4. So, much like we saw in the sim, the accidental sim, you guys make it past the A's, and I lose to the Mets. We could not prevent our destiny from occurring. The Mets move on. And again, that was a brutal performance. Merced was phenomenal. But all in all, that was just not at all a series to remember for us. That was bad. That was real bad. And I mean, looking here, again, Torres got roughed up. Anthony got roughed up. Ashcraft was phenomenal. Pringle got roughed up bad. Just 3 innings pitched. Starting pitching let us down. Batson was pretty damn solid, but Araujo got roughed up. Bucky Tate got roughed up pretty badly. It's just all around awful. Borden hit 1 hit and 6 at bats. Lyle, 1 hit and 7 at bats. Tucker hit 214. Beer hit 187. I mean, that's why we lost right there. Osuna at 313. Hernandez, no hits and 4 at bats. No hits and 5 at bats for Gore. Freeman, 357 through 14 at bats. Engel, 1 hit and 6 at bats. Marquez, no hits and 5. Marte, no hits and 7. Hines actually did pretty well. What would that be? 4 hits and 7 at bats. Pena was abysmal. Everybody underperformed. Everybody underperformed. So we move on. And again, destiny prevails. The Royals come back from 2-1 down. They will play Montreal. Pittsburgh plays New York. I could not turn the tide. I could not avoid our destiny. We will find out if the Mets can keep up theirs and if, well, the Expos can reverse fortunes there, or if this is incredibly scripted and we have a Mets-Royals World Series, which could very, very well happen.